A Royal Thai Army T. Oplot-T main battle tank has been spotted with what appears to be a new foldable anti-drone protection system mounted above its turret. Images shared on social media on July 29, 2026, have attracted attention among defense observers, although the modification has not been officially confirmed by the Royal Thai Army or Thailand's Ministry of Defense. If authentic, the images suggest that Thailand is studying new ways to improve the survivability of its armored vehicles as small FPV drones become one of the biggest threats on the modern battlefield. The most noticeable feature is a large foldable wire mesh cage installed above the turret. Unlike traditional cage armor mounted directly on a vehicle, this design creates a gap between the protective screen and the tank's roof. The extra distance is intended to reduce the effectiveness of drone attacks by causing explosive payloads to detonate before reaching the tank's main armor. This type of protection has become increasingly common since the war in Ukraine, demonstrated how inexpensive FPV drones can destroy or seriously damage tanks costing millions of dollars. Open-source images indicate that the structure uses a lightweight steel frame with wire mesh stretched across the top. Hinged supports allow the cage to fold down when necessary, making it easier to transport the tank, move under bridges or trees, and carry out maintenance without removing the entire structure. The design appears to cover most of the turret roof while leaving enough room for the main gun to rotate. However, because only a small number of images have been released, many technical details remain unknown. Thailand has not confirmed whether the system was designed by the military, developed by local industry, or created as a field modification by a maintenance unit. It is also unclear whether the cage is part of an official modernization program or simply a prototype being tested on a single vehicle. The tank shown in the images appears to be the T. Oplot-T, a Ukrainian-designed main battle tank built specifically for Thailand. The Royal Thai Army ordered 49 Oplot-T tanks, with deliveries completed in 2018. The Oplot-T is one of the most capable tanks in Southeast Asia. It combines a 125 mm smoothbore gun, advanced fire control systems, thermal sights, explosive reactive armor, and a powerful diesel engine. However, like most modern tanks, its roof armor is much thinner than its frontal armor, making it more vulnerable to attacks from above. That weakness has become increasingly important in recent years. FPV drones, loitering munitions, and other small unmanned aircraft can now approach from high angles and strike the top of a tank, where protection is usually lighter. The purpose of the new overhead cage is to reduce this threat. If an incoming drone hits the mesh before reaching the turret, the impact may damage the drone, disturb its flight path, or trigger its warhead early. Even if the explosion still occurs, the extra distance may reduce the amount of energy reaching the tank's roof. Still, military experts caution that this type of protection is not a complete solution. A simple wire mesh cage cannot stop every drone. Some FPV drones may fly around the edges of the structure or attack other weak points such as the engine deck, turret rear, or hull roof. More powerful shape-charge warheads may also penetrate the barrier depending on their design and the angle of impact. The overhead cage also introduces several trade-offs. Adding a large frame above the turret increases the vehicle's overall height, making it easier to spot from a distance. It may also interfere with antennas, optical sights, roof-mounted weapons, or emergency escape routes if not carefully designed. The foldable design appears intended to reduce these problems. Crews can lower the structure when moving through forests, under bridges, or during maintenance, then raise it again before entering combat. Thailand is not alone in adapting its tanks to the growing drone threat. Several countries have introduced similar overhead protection after studying the battlefield in Ukraine. South Korea has tested anti-drone cages on its K-2 Black Panther tanks during military exercises. France has evaluated overhead protection for the Leclerc XLR, while Argentina has displayed TAM tanks fitted with turret-top cages during training. Russia and Ukraine have also added cages, mesh screens, camouflage nets, electronic warfare equipment, and additional armor to many of their armored vehicles. These upgrades reflect a broader shift in armored warfare, where tanks must now defend against constant surveillance and attacks from inexpensive drones. Military planners increasingly believe that no single system can provide complete protection. Instead, modern tanks require a layered defense. Physical barriers like overhead cages are only one part of the solution. They work best when combined with camouflage, electronic warfare systems, drone detection sensors, active protection systems, short-range air defense, and well-trained crews using smart tactics. The images of Thailand's Oplot-T may therefore represent something more important than a simple metal cage. They suggest that the Royal Thai Army is studying how modern armored forces must adapt to a battlefield where drones are always present. Even if the current design is only a trial, it shows that Thailand recognizes the changing nature of armored warfare. For now, the modification remains unverified, and many questions remain unanswered. There is no official information about its effectiveness, production plans, or whether more tanks will receive the upgrade. Even so, the appearance of the foldable anti-drone cage is another sign that armies around the world are rapidly changing how they protect their tanks. As FPV drones continue to evolve, improving tank survivability will depend not only on thicker armor, but also on smarter, layered defenses designed for the modern battlefield.